Dear student, in this video we learn the model 1 complex variables. So already you have studied the complex number in the PUC classes. So let us know what is a complex number. The real and imaginary part of complex number z is equal to x plus iy are x and y respectively, and we write real part of z is x and imaginary part of z is equal to y. Means if the function is contain both real and imaginary part, that is called as complex number. Already you know. We may represent complex number z in polar form, that is z is equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta. So it is a representation of complex number in polar form. It is a represent of complex number in Cartesian form, where x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta. So it is a basic. By using this, we define the complex variable. So complex variable means if x and y are real variables, then z is equal to x plus iy is said to be complex variable. Means if x and y real variable, then the complex number is called as complex variable. Complex function. If to each value of complex variable z in some region of complex plane z or z plane, there correspond one or more values of w in a well defined manner, then w is a function of z defined in that region or domain. Then we write w is equal to f of z. Means the complex function can be defined w is equal to f of z. The w value will be depend on the z. Like that, calculus we written y is equal to f of x. So like that, in the complex variable we define the function as w is equal to f of z. So you have given z is the sum region and w is the region. We both the region can be connected by using the function w is equal to f of z. So this is a z plane, it is a w plane, so it is a region. So region or domain, it is a w is equal to f of z. It is a representation of z plane, w plane in xy plane. Means the complex function can be defined by using the relation w is equal to f of z, where w is a plane, z is a plane. If you change in the w plane, we observe the what is the change in the w plane. So it is the w is equal to f of z is a function. By using this, we study the complex variable. So next definition is derivative of f of z. A complex function f of z is said to be a differentiable at z is equal to z naught if limit of z tends to z naught, f of z minus f of z naught divided by z minus z naught exists and it's unique. This limit is then called the derivative of f of z at z is equal to z naught and denoted by f dash of z naught equal to limit of z tends to z naught f of z minus f of z naught divided by z minus z naught, or f dash of z naught equal to limit of z tends to z naught f of z minus f of z naught divided by z minus z naught, where delta is z minus z naught. Already you have studied limit, continuity, derivative in the calculus, same as in the complex numbers. So derivative of f of z means if f dash of z is equal to f of z minus f of z naught divided by z minus z naught, then f dash of z is called differentiable at z is equal to z naught. Then by using derivative of f of z, we solve the two theorem of, that is Cauchy-Riemann equation in terms of Cartesian and Cauchy-Riemann equation in terms of polar. So the theorem is the necessary condition for the derivative of the function w is equal to f of z to exist for all value of z in the region are dou u by dou x, dou u by dou y, dou phi by dou x, dou phi by dou y are continuous function of x and y in R. Second condition is dou u is equal to dou phi by dou y and dou u by dou y equal to minus dou phi by dou x are known as Cauchy-Riemann equation in terms of Cartesian form. Means in the theorem they have given the statement the necessary condition for the function w is equal to f of z. So there exists a partial derivative dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou phi by dou x, dou by dou y. Then dou u by dou x is equal to dou phi by dou y, dou u by dou y is equal to minus dou u by dou x. We prove that is this by using the w is equal to f of z and this condition. So let us prove this theorem. If f of z possesses a unique derivative at a point, any point z in R, then by definition of derivative we know that f dash of z is equal to limit of delta z tends to 0 f of z plus delta z minus f of z divided by delta z. So means increment value minus original value divided by increment. So already PUC. So in the Cartesian form, the complex number complex variable w is equal to f of z can be defined. F of z is equal to u plus iv. So that is f of z is equal to u of x comma y plus I comma phi of x comma y. So f of z is equal to u plus iv. It is a representation of complex variable where u and phi are defined on x and y. So in the Cartesian form, it is defined as f of z is equal to u of x comma y plus I into phi of x comma y, and delta z is delta x plus I plus delta y. So it is increment, and f of z plus delta z can be written as u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y plus I into phi of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y. Means we put the value of f of z plus delta z, f of z and delta z. We know the delta z means increment in z. We have written f of z means here is there. So f of z plus delta z means increment in this. So that is we have written here u of x plus delta x comma y of plus delta y plus I into phi of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y. So it is increment in z. So f of z plus delta z f of z, put in this formula we get this f dash of z is equal to limit of delta z tends to 0 u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y plus I into phi of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y minus u of xy plus I into phi of xy divided by delta x plus I into delta y. So it is f of z plus delta z minus f of z divided by delta z. Next step is we have to separate the real and imaginary part. So it is the real part here, it is the real part, it is imaginary part, it is. So separate real and imaginary part, we get f dash of z is equal to limit of delta z tends to 0 u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y minus u of x comma y plus imaginary part is the coefficient of I phi of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y minus phi of xy divided by delta x plus I into delta y, delta x plus I into delta y. Let us denote this is equation number. So it is treated as a equation number 1 where real and imaginary separated. Let us consider the limit delta z tends to 0. Here delta z tends to 0 means, so delta z contains two functions, delta x and delta y. So delta z tends to 0 along the path parallel to x axis where delta y is equal to 0. Then RHS of 1 become, means delta z tends to 0 means either delta x is 0 or delta y is 0. If delta z is along x axis, then delta y is 0. So put delta y is 0 in equation number 1. If you put delta y is 0 here, it will be u of x plus delta x comma y minus u of xy divided by delta x plus I into v of x plus delta x comma y minus v of xy divided by delta x. So put delta y 0, we get this RHS of equation 1 become f dash of z is equal to limit of delta z tends to 0 u of x plus delta x comma y minus u of x comma y divided by delta x plus I into phi of x plus delta x comma y minus v of xy divided by delta x. Then this is by using partial differential equation, it is a definition of u with respect to x, it is v with respect to x. So it can be written as limit of delta z tends to 0 u of x plus delta x comma y minus u of xy divided by delta x can be written as dou u by dou x plus I into phi of x plus delta x comma y minus phi of xy divided by delta x can be written as dou phi by dou x. So it is by using the definition of partial differential equation u and v with respect to x. So it is denoted as equation number 2. So let us consider the limit delta z tends to 0 along the path parallel to y-axis, means delta x tends to 0. Already I have told delta z tends to 0. Either delta x is 0 or delta y is 0. In the first case, we studied delta y is equal to 0. Put in the equation number 1, we get this. So in put delta x equal to 0 in equation number 1, we get this. F dash of z is equal to limit of delta z tends to 0 u of x comma y plus delta y minus u of xy divided by I into delta y plus I into phi of x comma y plus delta y minus phi of xy divided by I into delta y. Means put here delta x is 0, delta x is 0, delta x is 0. We get this. Next here, both the term have here I cancel, then we get limit of delta tends to 0 u of x comma y plus delta y minus u of xy divided by I into delta y plus v of x comma y plus delta y minus v of xy divided by delta y. So here take 1 by I common. So again it is of partial differential equation with respect to y. It is dou v by dou y. It is again by definition of partial differential equation, it can be written as dou v by dou y. Therefore, again it can be rearranged. So 1 by I can be written as minus I. F dash of z is equal to minus I into dou v by dou y plus dou v by dou y. So it is a partial differential equation u and v with respect to I definition we have written. So it is equation number 3. Now existence of f dash of z requires equality. Equation 2 and 3 means equate equation number 2 and 3. So LHS is same, only equate RHS, that is dou u by dou x plus I into dou v by dou x equal to minus I into dou u by dou y plus dou v by dou y. Equating the real and imaginary part from both the side, we get dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y, and the coefficient of I is imaginary part, that is dou u by dou y is equal to minus dou v by dou x. So proof. So they have in the theorem given that if w is equal to f of z be a complex function, then there exists a 4 partial derivative, then we have to prove this. So we have proved by using the complex variable and derivative definition. So dou by dou x equal to dou v by dou y and dou by dou y equal to minus dou by dou x. So it is a proof for the Cartesian. Similarly, we prove for the, that is in terms of the same theorem we prove in terms of polar. So before that, let us remember analytic function. A complex function f of z is said to be analytic at a point z is equal to z0 if it is differentiable at z0 as well as neighborhood of the point z0. An analytic function is also called as regular function or holomorphic function. Already you studied in the physics, means at each and every point of the f of z that will be differentiable. So differentiable means f dash of z exists, that is called as analytic function. So let us prove second theorem, that is in terms of polar. If f of z is equal to u plus I into v is an analytic function at a point z is equal to x plus iy, then u and v satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation dou by dou x equal to dou by dou x and dou u by dou y equal to dou by dou x at the point. It is in terms of Cartesian form. Similarly, for the polar form, that is show that the polar of Cauchy-Riemann equation are dou by dou r is equal to 1 by r dou v by dou theta and dou by dou theta is equal to minus r into dou v by dou r. So it is a Cartesian, already you have proved. So it is a in terms of, that is if f of z is equal to u plus iv, there exists a 4 derivative dou by dou r, dou by dou theta, dou v by dou theta, dou v by dou r, then we will prove that dou u by dou r is equal to 1 by r into dou v by dou theta and dou u by dou theta is equal to minus r into dou v by dou r. Then complex variable z in polar form can be written as z is equal to r into e raised to I theta. Let us denote equation number 1. Then w is equal to f of z be a function. Here w can be written as u plus iv. Then z can be written as r into e raised to I theta. Means it is a z plane, it is a w plane. In the w plane, the axes are u and v. In the z plane, r and theta. So u plus iv is equal to f of r into e raised to I theta. It is equation number 2, where u and v are the function of r and theta. Then differentiate with respect to r, we get dou by dou plus I into dou v by dou r is equal to, in the form of f of x, that is f dash of r into e raised to I theta into differentiation of r into e raised to I theta with respect to r. It is constant, it is variable. Differentiation of r is 1. So 1 into e raised to I theta is e raised to I theta. So it is equation number 3. So differentiate equation number 2 with respect to theta. We get dou by dou theta plus I into dou by dou theta is equal to differentiation of RHS, that is f dash of r into e raised to I theta. So differentiation of inner term. So r as it is, e raised to I theta differentiation is e raised to I theta into I theta is I. So it is equation number 4. Dou by dou theta plus I into dou by dou theta. From this, here we can write, that is r into I dou by dou r plus I into dou by dou r. Means we know that dou by dou r plus into dou by dou r is equal to f dash of r into e raised to I theta into e raised to I theta. Means by comparing 3 and 4, we have written this. Except r and I, it will be same as equation number 3. So r into I into dou by dou r plus I into dou by dou r. Therefore, on simplification, we get dou by dou theta plus I into dou by dou theta is equal to, multiply ri inside, we get r into I dou by dou r. So if we multiply here, we get r into I square value is -1. So plus minus 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 r into dou v by dou r. Equating real and imaginary parts, we get, so equate real and imaginary part from this. So here real part is this is, here real part is this is. Therefore dou u by dou r equal to 1 by r dou v by dou theta. Then imaginary part is this is dou u by dou theta is equal to minus r into dou v by dou r. By equating real and imaginary part, so here real part is dou u by dou theta, here real part is minus r into dou u by dou r. Imaginary part is, that is dou u by dou r equal to, take r this side, that become 1 by r dou v by dou theta. So it is a proof for in terms of polar form. By using these Cauchy-Riemann equation condition, we solve the example in the next video. So there are two theorems. First one is Cartesian form, that is Cauchy-Riemann equation Cartesian form. Then Cauchy-Riemann equation is polar form. By using these two Cauchy-Riemann equation condition, we solve the example in the next video. Thank you.